Hello, and thank you for joining the Terra's Kitchen with Pixel's Mom. Today, I'll be making an Italian minestrone soup. For this, you're going to need the following ingredients: 2 cups of dry ditalini noodles, 3 stalks of celery chopped, 3 whole carrots chopped, 1 white or yellow onion diced, 8 ounces of green beans chopped, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of Italian dried herb seasoning, and 1.15 ounce dark can of red kidney beans drained and rinsed. You'll also need a 15-ounce can of light kidney beans drained and rinsed, 2 15-ounce can diced of fire roasted tomatoes, 30 ounces of tomato sauce, 6 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to use the low sodium one, 2 teaspoons of salt and pepper to taste, 1 cup of baby spinach leaves. I am not going to be adding any type of meats or sausages. It's an optional option. And some fresh basil, parmesan cheese, and cracked black pepper for the topping. Let's get started. All right, I have taken the time to cook our noodles, and they are all nice and al dente and ready to go in our soup. And we're going to get started by putting all of our mirepoix pieces into our stock pan, and we're going to start cooking that up. I did put our pan on a medium heat. Going to add our 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to start sauteing the onions, celery, carrots, and the green beans. Add the celery after our butter has started to melt, and put the onions in there. Going to add our carrots and our green beans. And we're going to let these saute for about 3 to 5 minutes, or until the onions start to get translucent a little bit. Now that our onions have gotten to a translucent state and our rest of our vegetables are nice simmered here, I'm going to add the garlic in. We'll let that go for another couple more minutes until that becomes fragrant. Alrighty, now that our garlic has become fragrant, it is now time to start adding all the other components to our soup. We cleaned and rinsed off the beans. We're going to add that to our soup. Okay. And we're going to add the salt, pepper, and the Italian seasoning, the fire roasted tomatoes, the tomato sauce, and our vegetable broth to get the soup going. Ooh, splattery. Okay. Alright, and now that I have all that in there, I'm going to just stir it all together. And we're going to let this simmer on our stove for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll come back in and add the remaining ingredients. Alright, our soup has been simmering for about 20 minutes. I did give it that extra 5 minutes to make sure everything was blended nicely. And now I'm going to add our noodles, which have been sitting on the side waiting to be going in. Once the noodles and the spinach, which I'm going to also add in, have been incorporated into the soup, it is basically done. It is just basically letting the spinach wilt for a couple of minutes as I stir it, and then we'll be able to serve it up and give it a try. As you can see, I've served myself up a beautiful bowl of this great soup. You can see the spinach and noodles, carrots, and all the great vegetables in it. I'm going to add a little bit of that Parmesan cheese on top, and a little bit of basil, just for flavor. And we'll just shake it in there a little bit, stir it up, and let all that cheese melt in there. This is going to be a very hot soup, I can already tell. So I'm going to try to take a bite and hopefully not burn my mouth. Alright, we'll give it a try. Here we go. I'm going to try to blow it off a little bit so it's not too bad. Oh, that is really good. Very, very flavorful. The beans in it, the veggies taste amazing. It has a very nice tomato base to it. And I think this recipe was definitely a success. This is the Parmesan cheese that I grated up, and a little bit of basil. It is optional. It's not something you have to put on it, but I choose to put it on mine. All right, I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I want to thank my cameraman, Nelson, my husband. He was very helpful with doing this today, and I really appreciate his help. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Give it a share, give it a like, give it a try. Tell me what you might have done differently. I totally appreciate you all being here. I'm going to let my cameraman have his taste now, and we're going to have our supper. You all have a great night now.